I'm hearing you loud and clear. Good morning, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm okay, I'm okay.
Maybe you can type in your introduction, your name, what you do, where you stay, and any other information. We'll be reading it as we go along. Should we wait for about 5 minutes or should we start?
Hello.
Hello? Should we wait for others to join for about 5 minutes or should we just start right away?
Good morning.
Morning, David.
How are you? Network is not good this side.
Yeah, I think that is a general problem. Even we are having issues here, but
Okay.
I hope it will rectify itself afterwards, as you know, with our networks. Sometimes they are fast, sometimes they are slow. So what are you doing in the lockdown, David?
Sometimes I report to office.
Oh, you have a document
other times,
allow you to move?
I move because I'm a farmer.
But you need a special document?
No, you don't need, as long as you have a pickup.
That's interesting. I have a pickup. But
yeah, as long as you have a pickup.
Yeah.
No, I'm not right now.
What do you farm?
Charles.
Hello?
I'm in Matoke.
Okay.
I'm in pigs. I'm in chicken.
Where is that?
And pigs here at home. I have pigs and chicken.
Yes.
Then in Namayumba, off Namayumba, I have matoke and goats.
Is this what you are doing before COVID?
I've been doing that before COVID, but besides, I'm employed also.
What are you employed as?
I am working as a medical staff in reproductive health in Uganda.
Medical staff, those are the people that are needed at this point in time.
Right.
So what do you do in the medical field? Do you go there to assist our people who are suffering?
No, I'm a logistician.
Okay. What do those
Provisions of medicine. Provision of medical.
Okay. Provisions of medical staff, medical products.
Yeah, right.
Does that include the medical COVID-19 medical products like masks, PPEs?
The PPEs. It's the major product now.
Okay. How do I get a PPE?
Unless you are unless you're medical staff at our, you as a person, I think they are there in the pharmacies.
How much does it cost? I believe they come in different sizes and types.
Yeah, there is the ordinary one. These masks you are seeing all over the place. Those blue ones.
Mm.
A piece now is around 2,000.
2,000 Uganda
Before
shillings.
COVID, it was 300. Before COVID, it was 300 shillings.
Uh-huh. Now it is 2,000 shillings.
Eh,
Yeah.
then we have the N95.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is Boniface.
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm fine. I'm called Boniface Obonyo Okecho.
Welcome, Boniface.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm fine, very fine. How are you?
I'm good. The attendance
Thank you.
seems not to be picking up. We are just 2 people. 3. Should we wait some more?
We're only 3 people.
Yes.
But that is not still you can go ahead. Pardon? We wait for some more.
I think we give it another
I
5.
think, but we can go on. They will join us on the way.
They'll join us on the way.
Give it another 5 minutes. Eh?
Give it another
Okay.
5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
The customer this time was Boniface, and he's going to be soon with us on the show. And he'll be representing the side of the customer. This will give you a chance to hear from him and also to hear from us. The preliminary. Backward Aquaculture Group was started with the intention of finding what to do in the first mandatory COVID-19 lockdown that was forced on us without any warning. With no idea as to when it will end and how it will look like after the lockdown. How do we prevent a bigger pandemic reoccurring after the lockdown? What do we do? It will never be the business as usual. With some businesses might not survive. We believe that food and proper reliable source of income are the key requirements for every day under lockdown and after that. The economic devastation that is to happen after the lockdown will be big for a few businesses and countries, resulting in a recession. These are some of the questions that we're asking ourselves. The need of the hour is food and income, prosperity. Some of the challenges we have been facing are 20 million people in the region who are going without food because of the more than 2 seasons which have failed. Then we have the desert locusts, COVID-19, and then the lockdown. And after that, we have desert locusts coming back again. This is going to do enormous damage to the SMEs and other pre-existing challenges which we have been having, like malaria, like floods, like migration, and so on and so forth. In developing countries, no stimulus package, corrupt and weak governments, weak economy, global challenges outside Africa. Africa was slow to get the virus, but is predicted to be the worst hit because of huge number of SMEs. Unbankable poor cash flow with no reserve, no government stimulus packages, corrupt for meager fund sourced externally, and little assistance to the poor country. Infrastructure, poor medical arrangement, dependence on tourism, entertainment, games, grants, and loans. How does a 30-seater restaurant, for example, survive in a situation like this? Suppose you have got a small restaurant and it seats 30 people. How does it survive if it social distances? Does it keep 15 people or 6 people? Because that quantity is too small for it to be able to generate enough income for its existence. In the absence of the stimulus package from the government, we need to find means to survive and thrive by ourselves. Statistics shows, a report shows that 54% of the Americans, after sampling the work from home, remote working, are now preferring to stay home and work from there. And also in Britain, in the Straits Times, Britain recommends sweeping changes to workplaces to make sure that at least it includes the working from home or the remote working. How does the customer get a concept note? You pay $79,000, which you can send on the mobile phone. After that, you supply us with some of these details, your address, preferably with a GPS. Boniface, how did you get your GPS locations? And any other information that you find is useful. Maybe Boniface will come in and tell us how he got his GPS locations, but rather the GPS location looks like this. When we get this information, we'll be able to do a concept note under Africa Aquaponics Association in this program of Kakana Backward Aquaculture Lockdown Program. Hello, Mr. Boniface? Hello, viewers, how you go to the GPS coordinates. On his site, we have installed 5 tanks with a capacity of 3 tons each, for a total of 15 tons per season, all in 2 seasons a year, because our season is 5 to 6 months. This gives us 30 tons a year. Boniface opted for a grow out. Out of the 4 models, because our 4 models are a hatchery, a nursery 1, nursery 2, and a grow out. In Kakana, we advocate that the Asian model emphasizes specialization in one commercial activity of fish farming, either hatchery, nursery 1, nursery 2, and then a grow out. So in the case of Boniface, he's going for the grow out. We recommended a grow out because we felt that it best utilizes the existing infrastructure and experience that the customer was having, because he was already doing pond fish farming in the backyard. He already has a pond. This will increase his production capacity by the tank fish farming output, and then he can take advantage of the lucrative market. Here we have listed in this concept note, we indicated the three main sources of income. That is food fish, taro yam, and agro-tourism. It can be marketed through the cooperative society. In fish, that is 240 million per year. Taro yam, that's around 11. And tourism, that is around 4.8. This is produced in an area of 30.9 by 15.2 meters, or 317.6 meters square. That's the main area. And there's another small area which is occupied by the tank, which is 4 by 4.2 meters, or 16.8 meters square. The total area is 33.4, 134.48 meters square. Now, this is important in an area which is an urban place because space is of a premium. You compare the level of production with the level of income of other sources of income. Suppose you used this place as a rental. How much income would it generate per so many meters square that is rented out? Okay, so Uganda data. Fish came in third after gold and coffee. Fish a few years ago had been one of Uganda's biggest exports, but bad fishing methods resulted into reduction of fish stocks, closure of processing factories, and a reduction in fish exports. In the last 3 years, fish in the lake has increased and shown signs of recovery. However, it earned 105 million US dollars, or 390 billion Uganda shillings. This earned Uganda 106 million, or 390 billion. The total of 17,000 tons was exported. Remember, Uganda is producing much, much more than that, but this is what was exported. Mainly to Europe, the US, to European Union, the US, China, and the regional bodies like DRS Congo and a few others. This works out to around $6,000 per ton, or Uganda shillings 22,359. Our projection, we are using 8,000 per kilo, but if you're exporting and you have added value, this works out to 22,000 Uganda shillings. That's a very big incentive. But remember, capture fish is finite and cannot sustain the growing local, regional, and international demand. For this reason, aquaculture needs to be developed sufficiently to fill the gap. You know, Uganda is producing 120,000 metric tons in aquaculture and 446,000 metric tons in capture fisheries. But the industry has got abundant aquaculture resources. Regional challenges. The 2 dry seasons experienced in the region have resulted in more than 20 million people going hungry. Desert locusts phase 1, COVID, an opportunity. This combined to create yet another unique opportunity for aquaculture, generating demand for nutritious food and need for building of food security and prosperity. We had developed a backyard aquaculture system for the last 6 years. So this system came in handy because this was already in place. We already had a cooperative hatchery for producing quality seed. We already have a number of nursery systems installed for producing of quality juvenile seeds that are suitable for farmers in the pond industry. And there's an existing pond infrastructure of more than 25,000 ponds installed countrywide, with Wakiso accommodating more than 240 pond fish farmers, of which BCA falls. Most of these ponds are not commercially viable because of many challenges like poor quality seed, expensive feeds, and security, of course. Okay. It is important for each nation to develop an indigenous solution to food security to meet the huge collective challenge of feeding the planet while safeguarding its natural resources for future generation. In this context, we need sustainable aquaculture to eliminate hunger, promote health, reducing poverty, generate jobs, and provide economic opportunities. According to FAO, Africa has the highest growth at 11.7. But the continent still continues to punch below its weight. It has got huge natural resources which are suited for aquaculture, but it is underutilized. And most of the aquaculture activity is, aquaculture is the fastest growing employer, and fish continues to be one of the most traded food commodities worldwide, especially for developing countries. It uses unsustainable methods. It discharges effluents to the environment, competition for land and water, introduction of exotic species around the globe, overexploitation of fish stocks to obtain fish meal and fish oil, dispersion of pathogens, development of antibiotic resistance genes, and so on and so forth. Furthermore, shortage of ingredients and other price is aimed to overcome some of these challenges with our Kakana system. That is what Kakana is. It is a proven tested system. It is climate smart. It is a small footprint, can easily fit in your backyard. It recirculates the water in the tank. Farming uses natural resources sustainably. The conclusion. The system that was set up is costing 56 million with an annual turnover of 286 and 289 million, with a net profit of 41 million. The payback period of 2 years occupies an area of 394 meters square, 394.5 meters square, easily fits in the backyard. So what is the call to action? You only start to think of your backyard fish farming as a business with a concept note. In fact, this is true with all businesses. Unless and until you have a concept note, you cannot seriously focus on the business at hand, unless and until you have the figures, which proves that that business is making money or not making money. Thank you for listening.